What is up YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about must-have accessories for Nintendo. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so I've got 5 different accessories that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and these are not just one console, these are overarching accessories. Some are for specific consoles, and others can be used for multiple things. So what I wanted to kind of do here is talk about some great accessories that Nintendo or another party has created to work with Nintendo systems that are very awesome. Now we're talking controllers, we're talking cases, and a few other things that I will let you wait till the end to find out about. But I wanted to talk about these because I think these are very vital, and if you have a game collection, you're going to want to have some of these in your collection in order to have the most fun. So with that being said, let's check out the first thing. Okay, so here we are, number 1, Amiibo support. Now I've got 2 different Amiibos here. I've got my Link from Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch, and then I've got my little Kirby from Super Smash Bros. This is an amazing Amiibo, and honestly I use this thing the most. Kirby is my most used one, and that's because I use him with Smash. But if you don't know what Amiibos are, they are really cool. This is a great way for Nintendo to make a little extra cash without really having to do much. So what they've done is taken characters from their franchises, from all of their games, or a lot of their games I should say, and put them on this pedestal. Now this pedestal is an NFC chip inside of it that reads on both the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS, some models or most models of the 3DS, and even works on the Wii U. So what do you do with this thing? This thing goes and you put it over the controller or the gamepad or whatever it is you're holding, and then it scans whatever character it is. In some games you've got special outfits, some games the characters come into the game. Kirby is a great one for me because I actually like to play as Kirby in Super Smash Bros. So what do is I carry this little bad boy around with me, and anytime I need to whip it out and show people how my Kirby style is, I can scan it in and go on forward. Now this isn't anything crazy, it doesn't do much in Super Smash, but I love the look of Kirby and the playstyle of him in that game, so that is why this is probably my most used. But there's a ton of different ones. There are some very cool ones that look awesome, but then there are some that are not only cool looking, they also do good things. Now I have the Link's Awakening, I have the Link wolf one, and that actually brings in the wolf in with you in Breath of the Wild, so that is amazing. There's just so many Amiibos out there. If you don't have any or you don't know about them, you definitely should kind of get those in your mind. You're gonna spend way too much money. I have a box down here of Amiibos that I've not opened, and on my shelves here you can see I've got a ton of Amiibos just kind of strung out and everything. I even have this incredibly ridiculous huge Detective Pikachu Amiibo, and honestly this is my favorite one. I gotta say this has got to be my favorite one. It's so much bigger and it's Detective Pikachu, you just can't go wrong there. So that is why I think Amiibos are a great thing. You add those to your collection, they look cool on the shelves, but they bring some functionality as well in games for you as well. Okay, so this next thing is a third-party controller, and this is an accessory that you must have if you have a Nintendo 64. You have probably heard me talk about this at least 5 times on the channel before. Anytime I bring up the Nintendo 64, I feel like I have to talk about this because this is how I play it. And that is the Retro Fighters Brawler 64 controller, and I love this thing. It gets a plenty of use and it's just so awesome. It takes everything that you need in a Nintendo 64 controller and changes that to a modern console feel. So you don't have that third trident looking controller. You've got everything within reach here. You got 2 Z buttons as the triggers, L and R bumpers, you got your C stick, your D-pad, your analog, your AB, your start, and then you've got extra buttons which are the turbo and the clear. And honestly, I love this. It even has the port on the back to plug in those rumble packs or memory cards. But honestly, this is great. This is one of those controllers that I love to use, and anytime I have this controller and I'm playing on the 64, people are always like, oh, you're cheating using that. And I'm like, I'm more comfortable with this. Everyone's more comfortable with this style of game controller, and that's why this took off and the Nintendo 64 didn't. It flopped, and you kind of saw how that worked. But this is a great controller. Now, I know it's third party, but it works with first party Nintendo 64 consoles, and so this is why I love this so much. Now, Retro Fighters is an awesome company that takes controllers from either the old days and brings them new. Like the 64, they've got a Sega Genesis, they've got even a Dreamcast controller coming up. I mean, they've got a lot of cool stuff, and like the NES controller, the SNES controller, they do it all. And so if you're looking for a modern controller for those systems, definitely check out Retro Fighters. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I've worked with them before, and they're always nice dudes, and they do good work. So definitely love the console kind of revamping of the controller, and it just makes this game much more playable, or makes the console much more playable, and it's so much more fun that way. Okay, so now we're going to talk about an unusual controller, and that is the Pokeball Plus. Well, it's kind of a controller, it's kind of not. Well, it's this little ball, and realistically what you have is a button on top and then the joystick, which is all this is. There is a reset button, and usually there is a lanyard that goes with it. I take mine off because I don't need it, but this thing is awesome. If you have ever played Pokemon Go and you've always wanted one of those Pokemon Pluses, well, this does exactly what that does, and it's in a pretty cool shell. But there's more. This works very, very well with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. And honestly, that is why I bought this. I was able to play that whole game using this controller, and oh my goodness, it's so much fun. Now, I have the Pikachu version, which, if you did not know, comes in this bigger box, which comes with the game and the Pokeball Plus. I got that on release day, and honestly, I loved using this little thing. It's just a small little controller. You put it in your hands, you can literally sit like this, put your index finger on the button, your thumb on the joystick, press down if you need to do that, and that's all you need. This is a simple controller. It does charge via USB-C, and everything about this is awesome. Now, I have done a video or two about this, whether it's connecting to your cell phone to work with Pokemon Go, or how to reset this. There's some cool things that this little thing does, and honestly, I'm so glad that they made this. I know some people thought this was kind of weak or not needed, but definitely with this game, Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, it definitely was well received on my end at least. Okay, so now we're going to talk about probably one of the best first party controllers, and that is a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Now, this is not the newest version. This is actually the day one release, whenever the console came out. But honestly, I love this thing. I didn't even plan on getting this, but whenever I was at Gamestop on the launch day, they said, hey, we've got a few more of these controllers left, and we got some like random Super Nintendo controllers left. And I said, get me one of these controllers, and that's what I got. So I'm pretty happy about this. This thing is an awesome controller. It feels great. It looks awesome as well. And honestly, I think it is everything that a modern controller needs, and it has everything that you would want. Now, this is an awesome controller. It's got the joysticks, it's got the D-pad, A, B, X, Y, home, capture, plus, minus. It's got the ZL, ZR, L1, R1. It's got the button for syncing a charge point, and then it also has Amiibo support, which is even cooler. Built into the system, the controller, it even has the rumble, and I think honestly this is a perfect, if not, so maybe not perfect, but it's a really good first person controller. Now, the only thing I think I enjoy more than this controller is probably my Xbox One Elite controller, but this being a stock controller, no extra paddles, no added D-pad changes or joystick changes, I think this is a great stock controller, and honestly, I think Nintendo knocked it out of the park with this. I was a little bit concerned about the trigger pulls, but actually I tend to love it now. Like, I love how short it is. It makes it just a lot better to use, and so that's why this is a must-have if you have a Nintendo Switch. Okay, so this very last accessory, I've got 2 of these with me and a ton of more of them, and that is cases. So a lot of people don't think of a case as a good accessory to own, but I think it is the best. I think they are great for not only looking cool like Donkey Kong or a Pikachu, but they also protect your consoles. This one actually even stores a ton of games, and as you can see, I have even doubled up in some of the portions in order to keep more games in this for the 3DS, as well as an extra stylus, and you can put your system there, and then everything just kind of zips up, and then you've got everything here in a to-go pouch, and that to me is totally perfect. Or maybe I just don't want to have to use my hands, and I just want to have a lanyard on my case. So I've shortened this one up so it's easier to see for the video. Usually I have it a little bit shorter, but this one is perfect. I can put games in here and talk about all of that. On the back there's even a little space that I could put my charger if I need that. And then last but not least, I could put my Game Boy Color in the bottom here and keep it protected. So cases are one thing that I am adamant about. If it is a handheld console and I'm gonna take it out, I have a case for it. Now I have a clear case for my Nintendo Switch Lite. I've got a hard shell case for the Switch Lite. I've got a hard shell case for my Switch. I've got a ton of these 3DS cases and even a few of these Game Boy ones. So what does that mean? I think a case is great. It keeps your system in great condition. It even holds an extra few games or maybe the charger for whatever you're using. Honestly, it's just something I love to have because it's something you must have to keep your console safe. So that is why I decided to add that to this list. Okay, so those were a few of my must-have accessories from Nintendo. Now, not all of these were Nintendo branded. Like, some of those cases are knockoffs, and other things like that are maybe not knockoffs, third party. Even that controller from the Retro Fighters is a great controller. We got those Amiibos, we got that Pokeball Plus, and that Nintendo Switch controller that just, all of these are very awesome accessories. So I wanted to bring those to you guys. I want to know what you think. What are some of your favorite Nintendo accessories? Comment those down below and let me know what you think about it. Also, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And one last time, guys, I'm so thankful that you've watched this far, so thank you very much for watching. Make sure you stay safe, practice social distancing, stay at home when you can, wash your hands as much as possible, stay 6 feet away from each other, and overall, just stay healthy and keep you and your family in that healthy range. So, one last time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.